Hi you guys, it's KelliCrux here, and today, like it says in the description, I'm going to be doing a tattoo tour of all of my tattoos. I believe I have somewhere around 20. I kind of stopped counting a while ago and just don't really think about it a whole lot. Some of them have meaning, some of them don't. And then I'm also going to put in disclaimer 1, my dog is walking around. Also, this is my body, and what I choose to my body is my own, and I think that's silly that I even have to say that. But I've made some what other people would consider dumb decisions when it comes to tattooing. So let's start with my very first one, which is actually on my back, and this is a really poorly done one. So it says Expecto Patronum. It's obviously a Harry Potter tattoo. It's a Patronus. In it, there's some like lilies off to the side, and then you can see like there's these two figures, one here, and then there's like this going passed along in between it. So that's Snape and Lily when they were children. Those are the like dandelions going back and forth. Lily is my favorite flower, and that is because it's known as like the death flower, and it's typically like what's at funerals and things like that, so it kind of fit with it being Lily and Snape. And I always really loved the story between Snape and Lily, and not that like I ship them by any means, but like J.K. Rowling has come out and said that Lily would have possibly pursued Snape if he hadn't been so into the dark arts. And so it was a reminder to me to like not like dark arts, but like depression and things like that, to not let that grab a hold of me, to not let it control my life. And so it was a lot about depression, with the Dementors being like depression that J.K. Rowling has said, and the Expecto Patronum, you're having to think of your happiest memory to push the Dementors away, and that's how it is for me. And when I'm super depressed, I have to remember that there are times where I have felt better, and I can get back to those times. I'm diagnosed with depression, so that's just something that I've always dealt with, and I thought that that would be really great first tattoo. I also thought that it would be my only tattoo. It's not a spelling error, but Patronum should be capitalized, and it's not, so my very first one, is wrong, but that's okay. Second tattoo, I believe, was this one, and it's also a Harry Potter tattoo. So it's 1946 through always, and then it has the signature stars that are on every page in the Harry Potter books. And this one, if it's not obvious to you, Alan Rickman was born in 1946, and then one of his famous lines is always when Dumbledore asks him all those things about Lily and blah blah blah. Anyways, if you know the story of Harry Potter, then you know what I'm talking about. When Alan Rickman died, he's like my all-time like favorite actor. I've seen every single one of his movies. I've seen every clip that he's ever been in for any kind of like poem or short film, anything that there is a video of him for a performance, I have seen. And so when he passed, I had a really, really hard time with his death. I've never had any emotional pulls towards any kind of celebrity singer, if they've gotten sick or if they've died and all that kind of stuff. I always just kind of been like, oh, that's really sad. But when Alan Rickman passed, I literally cried and was so upset because he is so talented and has moved so many people, and his stories that he tells are so unique, and I just appreciate all of his art. Okay, so from there, I then got my middle piece done. Okay, so that's this one. It's obviously a swan and a crown. The crown is supposed to be like the evil queen, similar to the evil queen's crown in the Disney movies, and then there's obviously just a swan. Well, it's my second most painful tattoo. The position was definitely the most painful. Another one, I'll get into it, took a lot longer and hurt because of how long it took. But this one was really, really painful. If you're familiar with Once Upon a Time, I am a huge, 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 huge Swan Queen shipper, which is Emma Swan and Regina Mills, shipping them together. It has a lot more meaning than just that. It also, for me, I kind of feel like I'm an ugly duckling, that story, in a sense. Not that I was like ugly and then now I think I'm pretty. It's more of like an emotional change where at one point in my life I felt like I was really, really, really lost, and then I have overcome a lot of really hard things in my life that I will get into sharing. Like I've said, my mom passed away, I used to be Mormon, I've gotten a divorce, those kinds of things have really made me to who I am today, and I feel like that's a whole transition in it. And then the crown being that I am to always treat people with respect. Okay, so then from the Swan Queen one, I believe the next one I got was my quote, which is here. And then this is a Penny Dreadful tattoo. It says, "Life for all its anguish is ours, Miss Ives. It belongs to no other." I love Penny Dreadful. I'll get into my thigh piece of Penny Dreadful in a second. I am completely obsessed with Eva Green. Again, a fantastic actress. Penny Dreadful, I feel like, changed my life. There's a lot of symbolism in that show. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I got this arrow tattoo. It's super tiny. I just wanted an arrow, which is, again, this one has a meaning of like, there's like a quote that when life's pulling you back, just remember that it's about to shoot you into something wonderful or something like that. And that quote really stuck with me at that time. I actually no longer really like that quote. I think that sometimes when life's pulling you back, you just kind of have to keep fighting, and it's not actually going to launch you into anything great. There it is, and that's a part of my life. And even though I don't really agree with the original reason why I got this tattoo, I still like it. I love tiny tattoos. I love simple tattoos. You'll notice a lot of mine are just like simple line drawings because that's what I like. I then got this tattoo, which is a quote from Halsey, if you're familiar with her. It says, "I'm a hurricane." And in that, I feel like I'm very much a hurricane, and I've always, after I got it, I was like, well, at least I come with a warning label now. And I got that done at a tattoo convention in Seattle. And I just like it because I think hurricanes, while they are devastating and they cause lots of damage, that they're beautiful. They're beautiful, like, nature has created this, and if you want to do global warming and all that kind of stuff, go into it. It's the visual of a hurricane, I think, is beautiful. Now, the destruction that leaves behind is obviously terrible and very sad, and I feel like that's how I relate, whereas I just exist sometimes, and then I feel like I am destroying all of the things around me, and I'm not. It's not it's not what I'm trying to do. It's just part of my existence. And I own a lot of the things that I have messed up with in the past. And I am a constant person who apologizes. Anyways, so I just liked that. I felt like I resonated with that. So it's if you guys are familiar with Magic the Gathering, this is a Black Lotus. It's like one of the most expensive cards. I wanted a Lotus. I couldn't figure out how I wanted to get the Lotus, and my ex-husband suggested why not make it nerdy and just get a Black Lotus from Magic the Gathering, and that's as deep as that one went. From there, I got my Friday the 13th tattoos. So that's this one here. It's just a rose. I paid $13 for that. And it was just, my friend and I just decided, hey, let's go get Friday the 13th tattoo. So I got that one. And then this other one, which is literally one of my all-time favorite tattoos, and one that people like think is the most ridiculous, that I'll regret, that I'll want to get lasered off or I want to cover up someday, and there's no way that's happening. I'm obsessed with it. It's this guy right here. I know you can't really see him that way. A Yeti about to scare a man in a tent, sleeping in a tent. It is just so dumb, and it kind of is like Pacific Northwest, everyone like Bigfoot and that kind of a thing, which I understand a Yeti and Bigfoot are different, but just follow me here. And when I went in, I was like, has anyone gotten this one? And he was like, no, man, like nobody's gotten that, and it's just so cool, and like I don't understand why nobody wants it. And it did have 13 in the tent, and I just asked him to leave the 13 out. And again, that was a $13 tattoo, and I'm obsessed with it. So many people are like, what is that? And then when I tell them, they're just like, that's the dumbest thing. I'm like, I know. Also, when people are like, I have a dumb tattoo, and then they'll be like, look at this, and then it's like a bee. And I'm like, that's not dumb. I literally have a Yeti scaring a man in a tent. That's dumb. Okay, so I have two quotes from, one is from the book and one is from the movie. The movie is Carol and the book is The Price of Salt. I wanted both because they're very different. If you've ever read the book and you've watched the movie, they're different, but I love qualities in both of them. So the first one is it's technically from the book and the movie, but it more meant the movie to me. It says, "My angel flung out of space." And if you've seen the movie, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. That's the character Carol, who is played by Cate Blanchett. And she says that to Therese, and it just like hits me on an emotional level. I watched that movie on repeat. That movie helped me come out to my family and to my ex-husband, and it just like that movie's everything to me. Will always be my all-time favorite movie. The handwriting that it's in the movie, she writes a letter to Therese asking for her to meet with her after something happens. I don't want to ruin the movie for people who haven't seen it, but after something significant happens, she asks Therese to meet her and she writes this letter, and in the movie you see a shot of it. So I took that and then got it like an HD photo of it from the movie, and then I took that to my tattoo artist and said, I want these words written, but every letter is already in this letter here, and I want you to piece together each letter so it's in like Carol's handwriting. Okay, so the one on my foot here says, "Child, child, where do you wander all by yourself?" That's in Carol's handwriting. That is a quote from the book. I'm pretty sure it still is my bio on Twitter, which is Horcrux Heart, if you want to come follow me there. And I just realized that I have skipped over a tattoo that I got previously, so I'm gonna go back to that one. I have a evil queen here holding an apple in an apple. Again, it's a Once Upon a Time thing, and Lana Parrilla is my all-time favorite actress, one of them. I have a couple, like Evergreen, Cate Blanchett, and Lana Parrilla are like everything to me. That one was to remind me that good can come from evil, from dark places, that no matter like what has happened to you in your life, that good can come of it. I got it there on this placement, and trigger warning, I'm gonna talk about some depression and really hard things and self-harm, so if that triggers you, click off now. But I got it there because I have scars on my leg there from when I used to self-harm, and that's always been something I've struggled with. I've kept it under wraps and hid it from a lot of people for a really long time, and it was always easiest to hide it on my leg. And so I got that tattoo there, and it's right below like my most noticeable scars. I pulled my shorts down because I don't really feel comfortable sharing that on YouTube. So I got that there in hopes that if I ever were to go self-harm, that I could look at that and remind myself that good things can come of what I'm feeling right now. So there's that one. Okay, so and then this one, which is obviously the one that I get the most compliments on and most talked to, was done by a guy named Daniel Torres, and I'll link his Instagram down below. And this is 5 roses, like big roses, and then there's a bud right here. And this represents my mother and her 4 children. I have 2 half siblings and a full sister, and then there's me, and then my mother. And so that's what all 5 of them represent, her and her 4 children. And then I got a bud put in because after I had my 2 children, I had a miscarriage. Because my mother also, she had a miscarriage, and I didn't know that until I had my miscarriage, that my dad told me that. And she miscarried between my sister and I. So I felt like really close to my mom, I guess, in a way, and wanted to get a bud to represent that because I know that that must have been really hard on her. Then the next biggest piece I have is this woman here. This might be my all-time favorite tattoo. It's of this woman, and she has octopus legs for hair. It's not a Medusa, it's not snakes or anything. And then she has kind of like this scaly and then this geometric kind of shape down here. And then it says down here, God is a woman. I got this way before the Ariana Grande song came out. That is not at all what it's about. So the reason I got it is that I don't really have like a super strong belief in God, and I used to. That's a whole video in and of itself, but I like to challenge people's way of thinking about God. And so many people are set on one thing and that it has to be a certain way. And I literally got this tattoo because I knew it would make other people feel uncomfortable. And that challenges their thinking. That if God could, one, be a woman, and two, be this like Medusa octopus hair thing, like why does me believe, I don't believe that that's what God is. But if I did believe that that's what God is and that's what she looked like, then how does that affect your life, the way that I'm living, as long as I'm not hurting anyone or anything like that? Also, I don't know if you can tell, but my girlfriend is kind of obsessed with them. It's her favorite animal, and it wasn't something I had seen before. Literally, when I searched woman with octopus hair or tentacles for hair, I found like 3 photos, and I turned those over to my tattoo artist and was like, here you go, make something. And this doesn't look anything like those 3 photos, and it's beautiful and I love it. From there, I got this one, I believe. So this here is actually a matching tattoo with my girlfriend. Well, it's not quite matching, but they go together, and we're going to make a video. If you can make this video my most liked video that I've had so far, then her and I are going to do a video together of all the tattoos that we have together that are the same, or that she inspired, or whatnot. We have quite a few tattoos that we've gotten together, and so if that is something that you guys would like, then please leave a thumbs up on this video and maybe leave a comment down below letting me know that you would like to hear more about our matching tattoos. So there's that one. Another matching or tattoo I have with her is this right here, and it says same. And then another tattoo that I have is, I literally had to check which ear is on because I never see it, so I forget which side it's on. But I have this heart back here, and that's another one that has to do with my girlfriend Crystal. So if you're wanting to know the meanings behind those ones, then go ahead and leave a like on this video. And then I got right here on my foot, I have a semicolon. The last big piece that I have gotten is on my other thigh. Now, mind you that this one I got only like a week ago. It has not fully healed, a little over a week ago. It has not fully healed, and it did get infected. And this is the very first tattoo I've ever had get infected. It was done by an apprentice. The woman that did my God is a Woman tattoo, it is her wife who is apprenticing, and I said, use my skin to practice with, and that's what I did. So is this going to be probably my best tattoo? Absolutely not. Am I so supportive of these 2 women having a small business and being queer and doing all the things that they're doing and creating art? Absolutely. And I'm totally willing to give a part of my body to someone's art. So here it is. It's a Penny Dreadful tattoo. This is Eva Green, and then it says, so we walk alone at the bottom. There's the devil book right here, a scorpion, and then there's like a couple bats going throughout. And then there will be over here a sun. And so this is just the outlining right now. It got infected down here. It's still a little bit red. It's still peeling. You can see like the light spots aren't not ink. It's just that my skin is healing. Like I can still feel it over my skin and whatnot. It's going to have 2 more sessions, and this was by far my most painful tattoo. Just because she is an apprentice, it took a little bit longer. And she's a little bit heavy-handed, and that just comes with like learning to tattoo and learning that art form. And I'm super proud of it. I think she did a fantastic job. I can't wait for the 2 more sessions. It's going to be full-blown color. This was just the line work, and this took about 6 hours, I think it was. And so it was just, it was a long time to sit in the chair and to get tattooed, and for it to be like heavy-handed. I actually had to ask for a shot of alcohol because I couldn't do it anymore. I was like, I can't sit here. Like I've mentioned before, I love Penny Dreadful, and I'm totally okay with giving part of my body to her to practice her art, because there's really no other way to practice. And I've seen people like tattoo bananas and things like that. It's just not the same. It's not the same as tattooing on a live thing on skin, and learning all of that. So I'm 100% in support of her and her dreams, and can't wait for her to do more tattoos on my body. Okay, so my very, very last ones. They're my most recent ones, and these are the ones that are gonna cause the most stir on the internet, because they were done by my girlfriend and me. We have tattooed ourselves. I bought a tattoo machine. It's a pen, tattoo machine pen. We're doing some of our own tattoos, little things. These are things that I 100% would cover up if it turned terrible. So we're also going to do a video where you see her actually tattooing me, and possibly me tattooing her. Is it the most sanitary environment? No. Is it done in a tattoo shop? No. Is it done right here on this bed? Yup. It's probably stupid, but guess what? It's my life. So there's this one right here, and this is our two horoscope signs combined. That was the design. She did that one on me. The one that I did on myself it's so light. It's right here, and it's this tiny little feather. It needs to be touched up. The little feather didn't hold as well as I had wished. And then another tattoo that she did on me was this Lotus right here, and the reason that that is blue is because that's her daughter's favorite color, and I wanted to just kind of add some more meaning into it for me. That is one that we're going to continue working on. We're both going to do kind of big pieces on our feet with ourselves, like by ourselves, and then if it turns to trash, I'll ask my tattoo artist to do her best with it and make it look better. But honestly, I just don't care. One that I just saw that I skipped over is this one here. It's a sea turtle, and Crystal and I got that when we went to Hawaii. And if you watched our Hawaii 1 second vlog, which is up on my channel, then you would see that we went to a tattoo shop and we both got the same sea turtle tattooed on us, and we would like to do that whenever we travel somewhere big, that we go and we get a tattoo either there or a tattoo representing what we did. I think that's all of my tattoos. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm sorry it is so long. I'm going to try to cut it down as much as I possibly can. If you, like I said, if you want to see that video of our matching tattoos, then go ahead and leave a like, and hope to see you in the next one, and hopefully it'll be one with Crystal. It's hard with how many kids we have and juggling all their schedules and life and working and all that to get on here and make YouTube videos and find the time to edit them. So please forgive. I hope soon we will get on a more regular schedule, but in the meantime, I'm glad that you guys, the ones that the few of you that do come in here and check in and watch my videos, I really do truly appreciate it, because this is kind of a form of therapy for me. I like talking through all the things. Okay, you guys, see you in the next one. Bye.